Red button means we're live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. You know, it's really ballsy for a first time head coach in his third week to say to his franchise's second year quarterback that they invested their entire future in, hit the bench, bro. And although I would have preferred to give him a little bit of a longer leash to Bryce because they did invest so much for him, I really like this move because let's face it, Bryce Young is cooked. He is unplayable at that starting position. And listen, I hear a lot of people making excuses for Bryce Young today. Two things can be true. Yes, when he was drafted to be the Carolina Panthers quarterback, the day he was selected to be the Panthers quarterback, he was set up to fail. Although there was limitations, he's tiny and is not the dynamic quarterback we thought he was. You couldn't truly tell if he was the real issue in Carolina because the offensive line was a mess. The receivers couldn't create separation, and the coaching situation was a disaster. But what did the Panthers do this offseason? Improve the situation for Bryce Young, bring in a reliable wide receiver number one. The offensive line, unless my eyes are deceiving me, first 2 weeks looks kind of solid. And they bring in head coach Dave Canales, specifically for Bryce Young, who was known in reviving the careers of Geno Smith and Bryce Young. And yet, Bryce Young has regressed. Bryce Young is somehow worse. How is that possible? How are you worse today than you were last year in a worse situation? Now, ideally, I would want to keep Bryce Young in there for a little bit longer, mostly towards the end of this season, because they trade package, it's going to go down as one of the worst trades ever. In that trade, it ended up being Caleb Williams, the pick for him, DJ Moore, who's really good, the second-round pick for the Panthers this year, and more draft picks. It's a disastrous trade. That's why I'm going to keep just giving him reps and just try to figure it out. They didn't even give him 20 games. That's how bad it's gotten. They didn't give him 20 games. Jamarcus Russell got 25. Jamarcus Russell is known as maybe the biggest quarterback bust ever, and he got 25 games. But when you start to pull up the tape and run the numbers, even though you want him to keep getting reps, it's like, this guy might be unfixable. I mean, among the 32 qualified quarterbacks since he got drafted last year, Bryce Young is 27th in passing touchdowns, dead last in yards per attempt, second to last in touchdown interception ratio, dead last in sacks taken, dead last in EPA per dropback, dead last in passer rating, and definitely dead last in win percentage. Dead last, dead last, dead last, dead last. That's Bryce Young. And I don't know if the red rifle in Big 2024 is the solution to winning football games, but at least he can complete a pass, bro. That's all it needs. All I need is my quarterback. Can you complete a pass? I'm sorry. Bryce Young can't complete passes. He can't hit layups. Did you guys see that screen to Adam Thielen against the Chargers? It's an easy pass. You just got lofted over there. He missed him by a mile. It wasn't close. And it's not like the pocket is a disaster like last year and he's running for his life. Offensive line allowed 4 pressures and 29 dropbacks, and he's still throwing disgusting interceptions and taking bad sacks like he did last year. But now it's worse. Somehow it is worse. And again, you can't win with this guy. I don't know if Andy Dalton in 2024 is going to run the table and make the Panthers this ultra competitive team 500 maybe. I don't think so. But what I do know is if Bryce Young was in as starting quarterback for the remainder of the season, this Panthers team is more likely going 0-17. And I know some people say, hey, if you keep Bryce Young in there and you keep losing, you're going to have the number 1 pick next year. And to that I say, you can't run the risk of being 0-17. The number 1 pick is not worth being 0-17. It is the historical marker on your franchise, on the morale of that locker room, and a stain on your head coach. First-year head coach, he cannot afford to go 0-17. Out of anybody in that Panthers organization, he goes 0-17. Not only is he getting fired as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, he's not getting a head coach position ever again. So you got to make this move if you're the Panthers. If you don't think you can't win games with him, you do what's best for your team. Again, the situation's not great. And I think going forward, owner David Tepper, who I don't like, by the way, worst owner in the league, he's got to evaluate. He's got to learn from the situation. and understand he cannot let a quarterback go in this place again. If they draft a quarterback number 1 next draft, he can't play him right away. He's got to sit him. But again, if you watch the tape, Bryce Young's confidence is shot. He can't make layups. He's small back there, smaller than me. My rule is, bro, if you're smaller than me, I don't think you could be my quarterback. And he's not the athlete that we thought he was. It reminds me a lot like when Zach Wilson got benched by the Jets early on to his Jets tenure. It's like, this is not a situation where, oh, hey, buddy, we're just going to bench you for a week and you come back in when you're ready. No. This is like we're kind of done. We're moving off this guy. We've seen enough. We think he's unfixable. We can't win with him, and we're going to bench him. And I agree with this move. I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social medias to stay updated on all things related to the show. Till next time, see ya.